Hello students, welcome back to Poonam's classroom. Today we are going to talk about the brain of the cell. Any guess what is the brain of the cell? Yes, you are correct. It is the nucleus. The nucleus is called the brain of the cell or the control center of the cell. In the previous two videos of the Fundamental Unit of Life series, I have talked about the basics of cell and about the cell membrane and cell wall in details. The links for those videos are in the description. So let's talk about nucleus today. So if someone asks you what is nucleus, what are you going to tell? Nucleus is a dense protoplasmic body that contains information for controlling cell activities as well as it contains hereditary information that is transferred to the next generation. Thus, nucleus is called the control center of the cell. So let's understand each part of the definition now. It is called dense protoplasmic body. If you remember in my previous video, I have told that protoplasm consists nucleus and cytoplasm. So nucleus is part of the protoplasm and it is denser than cytoplasm. So it is called dense protoplasmic body. Let's break an egg. What do you see? A white semi-transparent part which is the cytoplasm and the yellow part which is the egg yolk, that is actually the nucleus. So you can see that the nucleus is much denser than the cytoplasm. That's why it is called dense protoplasmic body. It has all the information for controlling the cell activities. How it controls we will know in a minute, and it also contains the hereditary information. That is the information which goes from the parents to the offspring. Offspring are nothing but the children. As we discuss about nucleus, you will understand these terms in much details. Basically, nucleus has DNA which contains genes that control all the activity, and these genes are transferred from the parents to the offspring, that is the children. Here is a diagram of an animal cell and a plant cell. Can you tell me which one is plant cell, the yellow one or the green one? Obviously, the green one is the plant cell. Why? Because it has the cell wall and inside it is the cell membrane. So the yellow one is the animal cell. It has the outer covering, the cell membrane, but it does not have the cell wall. Can you see the nucleus in both? They are round, spherical structure and pretty much prominent, isn't it? And lies almost in the middle in case of animal cells. But in case of plant cells, there is a large central vacuole in the middle, as a result of which the nucleus is pushed to the periphery, that is towards the border of the cell. Let's now see what is nucleus made of. Nucleus has four parts: the nuclear envelope or the nuclear membrane, the nucleoplasm or nuclear sap, nucleolus, and the chromatin material. Let's talk about each part now. First, we will talk about nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope. Nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope is the outer covering of the nucleus. It separates the cytoplasm from the nucleus. It is a double-layered membrane covering. Within the nuclear envelope, there are pores called nuclear pores. These nuclear pores allow the exchange of material between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. The outer membrane of the nuclear envelope is connected to the endoplasmic reticulum. Now, what is endoplasmic reticulum? We will learn about it in the upcoming videos. For now, remember that the outer membrane of the nucleus is connected to the endoplasmic reticulum. Let's talk about the nucleoplasm now. In this diagram, you can see just the nuclear envelope. The dense sap inside the nucleus, in which the nucleolus and the chromatin is suspended, is called nucleoplasm. So, nucleolus and chromatin material is suspended within the nucleoplasm. This is the structure of a nucleolus, which is a round spherical structure within the nucleus, and these thread-like structures are the chromatin materials. We will talk about them in my next slide. This is the basic structure of a nucleus. You have the nuclear envelope, which is double layered. There are pores in the nuclear envelope. They are called nuclear pores. The dense sap is called the nucleoplasm. The round spherical structure within the nucleus is called nucleolus, and the thread-like structures are called chromatin material. What is nucleolus? Nucleolus is a nearly rounded structure found inside the nucleus. In this figure, this is the nucleolus. Remember, nucleolus is not bounded by any membrane. Nucleus has nuclear membrane, but nucleolus do not have any membrane. Is it clear? Nucleolus is generally one, but can be more than one as well. Nucleolus is rich in RNA and protein, and it is the site of ribosome formation. Now you will ask me, ma'am, what is this ribosome? Ribosomes are required for protein synthesis. In our body, all the functions are ultimately done by the protein. So, protein needs to be synthesized, and this synthesis of protein is done by the ribosome, and this ribosome are formed inside the nucleus. Let's talk about the chromatin material now. Can you see the thread-like structures? These are called the chromatin material. So, the chromatin material is a form of intertwined mass of thread-like structure made of DNA and protein. It is also called chromatin reticulum because of its intertwined nature. That is, if you see a mass of thread, then it exactly looks like a chromatin material. And as I have told you, it is made up of DNA and protein. The protein is called histone protein. You have to remember that all organisms start from a single cell. The cell divides continuously from 1 to 2 and then to 4 and so on, and ultimately a multicellular organism is formed. So this is the video of a cell division. You can see the one cell, which is called the mother cell, is dividing, and ultimately it forms two cells, and these two cells are called the daughter cells. The inside structure is the nucleus. As you saw, it divides first and then the cytoplasm divides. And during the process of cell division, whatever is there in the mother cell goes to the daughter cell. And also during the process of cell division, the chromatin material tightens or condenses to form structures called chromosomes. So if you look in this video, you can see the structure of a chromosome. Here it looks like that the thread has been tightened, and as a result of which the chromatin materials gets the structure of chromosome. Hope it is clear. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment. So since the chromatin material is made of DNA, so the chromosome is obviously made of DNA. Is it clear? And within the DNA, there are genes. These genes decide what should be your hair color, brown or black, what about your behavior, etc. So DNA has the genes, and we inherit these genes from our parents. That's the reason we look like our mother or father, and our character is also somewhat similar to our parents. So we have the cell. If we zoom in, we get the nucleus. If we zoom in again, we get the chromosome, which are nothing but the condensed or tightened chromatin material. Again, if we zoom in, the chromosomes are made of DNA. Because chromatin material is made of DNA, so chromosome is also made of DNA. And within this DNA are the genes. And these genes control the activities of the organisms and are inherited by the offspring from the parents. So, genes also contain the information necessary for the functioning, growth, reproduction, not only for the cell but for the whole organism. So, gene controls all our behaviors. Moreover, genes are defined as the functional unit of DNA or chromosome that carries hereditary information for one or more functions. That is, genes are ultimately inherited from the parents to the offspring. Hope this part is clear now. I am again telling, if you have any questions, write me in the comment. I will be very happy to answer. Okay, now you know about the parts of the nucleus. Now you know that chromatin material has DNA. Now you know that DNA has genes. So let's see what are the functions of nucleus now. Nucleus contains all the genetic information of the cell and also for the whole organism. Nucleus functions as the control center of the cell as it controls the cellular activities. Nucleolus within the nucleus helps in formation of ribosome, and you know that ribosomes are required for protein synthesis and protein is very important for all the functions. Cell division starts in the nucleus first. We saw in the video that the dark red part divided first, that is the nucleus, and then the cytoplasm divided. It brings variation during cell division. We will learn about it more when we talk about cell division. So let's quickly see the differences between nucleus and nucleolus. Nucleus is the functional region of a cell. Nucleolus is the part of nucleus. Nucleus is covered by double membrane envelope. Nucleolus do not have any membrane. Nucleus contains hereditary information and controls cellular activity. Nucleolus takes part in synthesis of ribosome. Okay, now you know everything about nucleus. Do you have any idea that a nucleus can be advanced type or primitive type? Now, depending on the type of nucleus, a cell can be divided into prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Now again the question, what is prokaryotic cell and what is eukaryotic cell? Let's understand. So, pro means primitive and karyotes means nucleus. So, if a cell has a primitive kind of nucleus, then it is called prokaryotic cell. U means true and again karyotes means nucleus. So, if a cell has a true nucleus, then it is called eukaryotic cell. Examples of prokaryotic cell are bacteria, cyanobacteria, and examples of eukaryotic cells are plants and animals. So, what are you? Prokaryotic or eukaryotic? Let me know in the comment. I know, I am just joking. You all know the answer. Till now, I have shown you the structure of a eukaryotic cell. Let's now see the structure of a prokaryotic cell. This is a typical structure of a prokaryotic cell. Can you understand the dark yellow part inside the cell? It is not well defined like a nucleus in a eukaryotic cell, isn't it? This part is known as nucleoid because it is not a true nucleus but something like nucleus where the genetic material is found, and this is called nucleoid. Nucleoid is nothing but a very primitive nucleus which is not surrounded by any membrane. It is almost dispersed in the cytoplasm. This part which contains the genetic material is called nucleoid. Apart from nucleoid, you can see a cell wall in a prokaryotic cell. Inside you can see the cell membrane. There are ribosomes. There are mesosomes which are required for respiration. There are fimbriae or cilia which are required for movement, and flagella can also be present. So this is a typical structure of a prokaryotic cell. Write me in the comment about the similarities between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Here I will talk about the differences between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. A prokaryotic cell is smaller in size, 1 to 10 micrometer, while a eukaryotic cell is much larger, 5 to 100 micrometer. It does not have an organized nucleus, that is, it has a nucleoid. Here a organized nucleus is present. A single prochromosome is present. 2 or several chromosomes are present in eukaryotic cell. Nucleolus is absent. Nucleolus is present. Membrane bound cell organelle is absent. Membrane bound cell organelle is present. So ultimately the question comes, what is nucleus? So nucleus is a dense protoplasmic body. Yes, now you know why it is called dense protoplasmic body, because it is part of the protoplasm and it is a dense structure. It contains information for controlling cell activities. Within the nucleus there are DNA which contains genes, and these genes actually control the cell activities, as well as it contains hereditary information. These genes are inherited from the parents to the offspring. So genes contain the hereditary information, and these genes are within the nucleus. So now you can understand the definition of nucleus very nicely. You no need to memorize, right? You can tell yourself what is nucleus and why it is called the control center of the cell. That's it for today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and of course share with your friends and subscribe for more such videos. And if you have any question, please leave me in the comment. See you in the next video. Thank you.